Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to What's Up 379, I think we're up to. It's Vive La France, stage 11, and another of those flat stages which isn't quite flat. I had planned on taking this one pretty easy today, almost as a semi-recovery rest day. However, the monumental efforts of my main rival, Martin the Prop Monster Prop, up the Col de la Bonnette yesterday, means I don't have the comfortable lead I was expecting to take into today's stage. As such, I'm going to have to put a little bit of effort in. I'm not going to go balls out because I just can't, to be honest. I'm not feeling it today at all. And I'm kind of wanting to prepare my legs for another mountain stage tomorrow, and then obviously the ridiculous mountain stage on Sunday, which I just don't even want to talk about just yet. I'm trying to get it out of my mind because otherwise I'm likely to throw in the towel before we even get there. So anyway, what is today's stage? Today's stage is, if I can get the graphic up, boom, there we go, Clermont-Ferrand Las Tiolas. I don't know, none of these places are familiar to me, so that sounded more Spanish than French anyway. Anyway, as you can see, starts on a nice little roll downhill. Tiny little bump there at about, what's that, I'm going to say 15k, and then a little bit lumpy, up and down, relatively flat, and then of course this is Vive La France, so we can't just have a flat stage. We're going back uphill, a little drop down, and then really uphill to a nasty little spike, but it should set itself up for a nice fast downhill-ish finish. So that's what we've got ahead of us. We're close to midpoint in the Vive La France now, and you know what, I was just about to say I'm feeling it. I am, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, I went all out yesterday up Col de la Bonnette to try and put some serious time into Martin Prop. As I mentioned, he did just stunningly well to hold on to me, but that was a stage I'd earmarked to really sort of establish a lead going into some of these flatter stages. But despite that effort and the previous really horrible climbing stages, Obisque, Tourmalet, to name just two of, well, every stage has been I'm feeling alright. I did my highest average power of any of the races so far in yesterday's climb. Like I say, I'm not really feeling it today, but I'm doing this is an earlier race for me. I don't usually race at this time. Maybe I just need to wake up a little bit, but yeah, I'm still going. To anyone else that's still here after 10 stages, or indeed those that have done the early stage 11, chapeau. I mean, this is something out of most of our comfort zones and absolutely phenomenal. And to be doing these distances consecutively, day after day, at race pace is something else. Right, anyway, so that's stage 11. I'm going to check the GC around me. There are other guys. I think it's Mr. B. Mooney was another one I was trying to close in on. I think he's got about a 6-7 minute lead on me in the general classification, so he's a name I need to look out for. He tends to do the evening races, so I'm not likely to see him on this particular race. He'll do his at the 18:30 tonight. But it's all starting to shape up nicely, and it's about time I started paying closer attention to more rivals than just Martin Prop. But it's very hard. It's been incredible considering the mountain and the flat stages, our different styles of riding. We're just crisscrossing in terms of who's ahead of who. And like I say, I was hoping to be further ahead today, but I'm not, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if he takes back all of and more the time that I have on him, which currently stands at about 9.5 minutes, something like that. Right, well, there we go. So I'm going to loosen up. I've actually got about 15 minutes before the race start, so I'm going to keep loosening up. Just to tell you, I have tweaked the rider handbook with some nicer graphics for the stage profiles and some additional content, and if anyone's interested, it's actually going to be printed. Beautifully perfect bound, printed, matte laminate, professional rider magazine handbook. So let me know. Obviously I can't do them in massive volumes, so as such they're going to be around, I'm going to take a pop at around the £10-11 mark for a copy. But if anyone would like one as either a sort of memento of this epic event, or they should be here in the next couple of days, so still of use for this this remaining half of the tour in terms of swatting up on the what's to lie ahead. Obviously drop me a line. I will put them in the WKG shop. I'll leave a link below on this video for anyone that hasn't got it. But yeah, I'd like to have this as a kind of keepsake for what is by far the biggest thing WKG has taken on in terms of managing and organising an event. So so I'm going to get some printed. So let me know. Obviously, the more the merrier. We can possibly bring the cost down if we sell hundreds of these bloody things, but that's highly unlikely. But let me know. Right, anyway, that's it. Off to the race. Alright, here we go. 20 seconds. This is going to go very fast off the line. I'm going to have to make sure I've got a bit of power, try and get a good draft. My best chance of keeping in touch with Martin, if I can get in with a fast bunch, and then just hope for the best. Over the plains, and boom, we're off. Have a great race, everyone. That was it. As with all these fast flat races, I had my fun at the front, 10.5 kilometres. Now I will inevitably slide backwards through the ranking. That's all right, I needed to get as much help as I could for as long as I could hold on to limit the damage that Martin Prop will put into me later. Now, the next bunch is about 1 kilometre behind me. I'm going to have to hope when they get here, I've got legs to try and hold on to them for a little while as well. That's what I would call the first sort of significant climb done. Only averaging about 3.5%. Goes on for about 1 kilometre. Certainly something to be aware of if you're watching this before you do the evening stage. That's if I get it uploaded in time. I can see Brazil, Kerry, Stevenson, Barkley, I think Daly, Morgan, all duking it out up the top again. Lindmark. Around me I've got Velters, 500 metres ahead. De Cristo and Gaffel, 600 metres behind. Closing. I've got a very fast quartet coming behind me. De Cristo is going to come past first, 6 watts per kilogram. I'm not going to catch or stay with him. Oh, he's eased off. I'm still not going to stay with him. But the bunch behind with Pocock, Quick Flash, Gaffel. Again, I wouldn't be able to hold them for the entirety of the stage, but they might give me a nice little drag for a while, as long as I can hold on when they reach. Okay, De Cristo flew away from us to catch up with, I think it's Wouters just ahead. I'm still just about here with Pocock, Jim Pocock, G Gaffel and Quick Flash. Gaffel now out of the saddle, charging towards that the halfway banner. And this banner actually is more significant than just being halfway through this stage. This actually represents the halfway point of the entire event. Here we go. Boom. 10.5 stages completed of 21. Awesome stuff, guys. couldn't chase these guys on this climb. They've done brilliantly to catch up with the front bunch, or the bunch in front I should say. My legs are shot. Let me just check this profile again, see where the other climbs are. So I'm at 24.5. Yeah, still got the biggest climbs to come. Oh bugger. Chris James flying up behind me now, 5 watts per kilogram, along with high cords. I'm just gonna have to let him go. I've got to save something for the final climbs now, frustratingly. We will have a nice little roll downwards in a couple of 100 metres. So hopefully I can keep speed up a little bit. Oh, this is beautiful. Chris James. I've been wheel surfing. Managed to jump onto Chris, who's doing 3 watts per kilogram, 3.2. It's just dragged me back up to gym. I love this. This is speed I would otherwise not have. Thank you, fellas. This is the biggest blow up I've had so far on Vive La France, I think. Not enjoying this stage at all. I'm not a fan of the not so flat flats. Anyway, don't suit me at all. And despite having an awesome domestique in Jim Pocock, who's now powered away, good on you, man. I can't put up any kind of challenge to anybody. I'm just going to have to roll this one through, hope I can go over these final couple of climbs. Just accept whatever the damage is at the end. But this does not feel good. I feel horrible today. Last night was the hardest stage we've done. But I managed to keep myself motivated and keep my power up. Like I say, it's the highest average power I've done. I'm paying the price for that today. Bloody Martin prop. If you hadn't been so good on the climb yesterday, I could have taken it nice and easy here. Looking at the front, still Morgan, Kimber, Ayap, Daly. Only a couple of K to go for those guys. You may have noticed the name keeps popping up at the bottom of my screen. There he is. How the Lurker, why? Putting out really solid power and has been chipping away at me very steadily but very surely. And with the steeper bits to come, How is a climber. He will absolutely rip my legs off when he gets here. Look at that, 3.8 watts per kilogram. Only 120 metres behind now. Made it 110, 15, 11-ish. And I won't fight him because I can't. So there's an argument to say, I mean, I don't have a house power anyway. But I'm looking at the people that are catching and passing me. It's definitely an argument for the slower start with me, even on these flat stages. I tried to get as much as I could out of drafting the front bunch, but it blows me up so much that I drop back possibly behind maybe where I could have been anyway if I'd just taken it steady and built into it. So I think that's going to have to be a lesson for the next flat stage. Last 500 metres now. D Russell's been chipping away. So it's 260 behind, but I think he's going to run out of road. Not entirely sure, he's doing good power. So with me just now, 350-ish. Well done. Everyone that's already finished. Everyone that's out on course still. This was not fun. Other than the first 10k drafting with the front bunch, this was flipping horrible. 150 metres. I'll be very glad to see the back of this one, and kind of thankful I did the earlier race, even though it's bloody hot in here. We've got this weird humidity heat wave coming across the south of England at the moment, but at least I get theoretically another 6 hours of rest if I do tomorrow's stage in the evening. Over the line. Like I say, not fun, but done. 1:18.57. There you go, Martin, Prop Monster. Go and fill your boots. You can destroy that, I'm sure. John, by the way, who picks these routes, you got something wrong with you, my friend. That was freaking horrible. It sticks a bloody 3.5 kilometre climb at the end of a flat race. You're such an arse. I know you'll relish that. That's like bread and butter. Alright guys, thank you all so much for racing. Actually no, I'm not gonna, let's wait and see who else is coming in. I think, did I just see, yeah, Russell did just come in behind me, look at that. 23 seconds in the end, 24 seconds. Really closed that up. Still out on course we have D-Van, S-Gun, S-Moon. Great stuff guys, although Stephen Moon was at 0 watts per kilogram, 40 kilometres in. Oh man, this seems to be a recurring theme for you, Stephen. Oh, he's got power again. Maybe he was having a rest, or maybe on a descent actually, around that point. Might be a descent, so I'll reserve my comments on that. D-Van's got about a kilometre to go, S-Gun about 3k to go, S-Moon about 4k to go. So I'll use this time to remind you about the printed version of the rider handbook that will be here in the next 2 to 3 days. As I mentioned, it's been professionally printed. I've added a few more pages with some as yet unseen content, a few extra details in there, rejigged the graphics on the stage profiles, various other things, tidied it up a bit. The printing's beautiful. It's sort of perfect bound with a nice spine, matte laminate on the covers. I just wanted it as a memento for this, as I mentioned at the beginning. So if any of you guys fancy one, unfortunately I can't, they're not like the price of a normal sort of match day flyer at a football match or something, sorry, a match day programme, because I'm having to print in very small volumes. But like I say, I think they're going to be around sort of £10–11. I can probably do free UK shipping for that price, because it'll just be standard sort of large letter shipping. Outside of the UK will obviously be subject to where you are, I'm afraid. But I will put them all in the shop, as I mentioned. And in addition, if there is interest, I've designed a commemorative jersey, an in real life jersey by Primal, which I'm going to add to our next team kit order, which is due to be done, finalised in the next couple of days. I know I've been saying that for the last couple of weeks, but I'm actually there now with the details of what I need to put a kit order together. And if there is interest in, it'll be the same jersey model as this, which is the Evo 2, I think it is. Really top quality jersey, but with an exclusive Vive La France commemorative design on it. I'll put pictures, obviously you don't have to say whether you want one or buy one blind, as we watch Van Steeland coming up to the line. Chapeau, dude. Great stuff. I'll put pictures in the groups, and yeah, just indicate if you're interested in one, and if there is enough interest that means we can get them at a reasonable price, then I'll add them to the WKG order. I know I want one, so please help a brother out. It cost me a fortune to order just one, so anyway, let's wait now. So Van Steeland's come in. Next up will be S-Gun, and he is gunning it. Less than a kilometre to go now. Great stuff. 2.5 watts per kilogram. Good stuff, dude. Do you know what? Also, haven't checked the finishing order, have I? I missed the finish of the front. So it looks like Kimber took it by a second over Morgan. That was obviously a really good sprint towards the end. Ah, gutted I missed that. And they managed to get quite a decent break on Daly and Ayap, who are about 22, 23 seconds. Am I looking at that right? Behind, but again, very tightly bunched with each other. Then after Ayap, we have Greenhalgh, who beat S. Kerry by just under 4/10 of a second, who was about 5/10 of a second ahead of Stevenson. Fantastic stuff. Just a little bit further back, and when I say a little bit, I literally mean 7 seconds, 6.5 seconds. Jay Brazel, excellent stuff. Then we have Neugebauer and Rodman rounding off the top 10. Well done, you guys. Let's go through the rest of the order. We have Paul Sturgis, brilliant stuff. T. Simons, C. Byam, S. Bellio, G. De Cristo, who I was actually ahead of for some time. And then, if you remember, he and Quick Flash, who was also there, came back to me with Jim Pocock and then just left me for dead. Well done, you guys. Saying Milham, Wouters. Is that the right sort of pronunciation? Wouters? I'm going to stick with it. Mr. Chris James, great stuff, man. Again, another one. That's Stephen Gunn. It is Stephen, isn't it? Oh, I'm going to say S. Gunn. Comes over the line. Chapeau. Yeah, Chris James, again, another one that slowly chipped away at me, then just left me for dead. I managed to draft his wheel for a while, and he pulled me back to Jim Pocock and G. Gaffel. Gaffel finishing just behind Chris. There is Mr. Pocock in 21st. And it looks like Hal Wye managed to get the best of the bunch that he was with. Great stuff, dude. Brilliant ride. So Hal Wye, 12 seconds ahead of B. Alpho, who was under 2/10 ahead of High Chords. Brilliant sprint to the line there, obviously. Then myself, then D. Russell, Van Steel, I can't remember the end of that name, and S. Gunn, who's just come over the line. And we are waiting on Mr. Moon, who only has about 700 metres to go. And here we go. Here is Mr. Moon. Mr. Moon, by the way, is the gentleman that gifted me these flashing disco lights behind me, which I forgot to turn on. Sorry, Stephen. Great job, man. Over the line. Excellent stuff. Right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap up very quickly because I've got to get in the shower, sort myself out and go and pick my daughter up from school. Looks like I might be a little bit late. Sorry, Millie. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you all for riding. We are past the halfway point. I'm definitely beyond halfway dead. I'm not even going to look at tomorrow's stage. I'm just going to go and ignore the Vive La France for the rest of the evening. And see you tomorrow.